Good Saturday morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Dr. Tony McNeil here with another pop up conversation. I am delighted to be here to talk with some friends about an incredible job opportunity in the state of Florida that many of you may have seen on my websites and other social media platforms. The First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin. I have the senior pastor and a member of the search team that will be joining me in a couple of seconds. But before I bring them up, I just want to say hello to everybody and to offer a friendly reminder about Sacred Soul Saturday. It is coming up very soon, and I hope those of you that are planning to be there will get your tickets very soon. All right, we are 1 week away from the ticket deadline. The deadline for tickets is Saturday, August the 1st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get your tickets if you have not gotten your ticket already. And I want to thank those of you who have already gotten your tickets, who are coming to the event. I'm so excited that you're going to be there to help me celebrate and to help us be a blessing to the T.S. Madison Starter House and NASM of Atlanta. It's going to be a wonderful time, folks. In case you haven't heard, Sacred Soul Saturday is a brunch event. Okay? It's a brunch. It is a live concert. It's a benefit, and it's a birthday party. It's an opportunity for me to give back to the community and celebrate my 55th birthday all at the same time. And all of you are invited. It is open to the public. And you see here the array of talent that will be present with us on that day. We have as our guest host T.S. Madison herself, the icon, and the legendary Miss Sophia. They will be hosting and co-hosting along with Choreology, who will be performing live. Lady Tiana Lemons and Higher Calling, one of Atlanta's premier community choirs, and spinning the hits on the ones and the twos, as they say, will be DJ Nutty Hunter. It's going to be a great time, y'all. I want to encourage you to get your tickets. If you have not already done so, you can get your tickets at tinyurl.com/Dr. Tony Mac 55. Again, that's tinyurl.com/DrTonyMac, Dr. Tony Mac 55. Yes, 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 yes. So thank you for your support. And let me remove that banner. Hang on 1 second. Let me go back here. Uh, there we go. And and yeah, don't forget. And feel free to bring a friend if you want to. Again, the event is open to the public. All of you are welcome. If you can see me, or if you're watching the playback, if you will type in your name, or your name will appear, but type in where you're joining this live from, or if you're watching the playback, and send it to a friend. Especially if you have a friend who is a minister of music or an artist, or someone looking to for a position to work in a church in the area of worship leadership and spiritual formation and justice work. This is the premier broadcast for people like that. So tag folks, even if you're joining now or watching this in the playback, that you think might be interested in learning more about this job. Okay, without any further ado, I am going to bring our guest to the stage so we can begin our conversation and talk a little bit more about this job opportunity at First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin, Florida. I have with us today the senior pastor, Dave Scheller, and a member of the search committee, Dr. Robin Rose. Welcome, friends. How are you?
Good
Doing all right.
morning. Doing good.
Thank
How
you
about
so much.
you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Good.
Good to
great.
see
I'm
you.
doing great here, and I'm still here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, finishing up my time with the University of Arkansas, and I'll be going back to Atlanta next Saturday. Been here for about 4 weeks already. Got one more week to go, and I'm excited to get back home to get ready for my semester at Columbia and to get ready for the party and to keep promoting this wonderful job opportunity that
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
you all have. Before we dive in, I want to say thank you for entrusting me with the responsibility of helping you find um, the right person for this position. It's been a joy working with both of you and the rest of the committee. I love the consulting work that I'm doing with you and with other churches around the country. And I believe in this effort of helping churches find the best qualified candidates that they possibly can for the needs that they have. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, thank you.
So let's I want to begin with you, Robin, first. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to First Presbyterian Dunedin, and then Dave, I'll come to you.
Thank you, Tony. So, my husband and I moved to Dunedin, Florida, 5 years ago in August this year. And I followed the signs and getting to know our area to First Presbyterian Church. And so just walked in the front door. I've got a Scottish background and, knew that this church had some Scottish heritage as well. So walked in and felt immediately at home,
Wow.
was inspired by the weekly messages of Reverend Dr. David Sheeler, and almost from the very beginning was asked to join the choir, and then the rest has been history. So I've been on various committees and I'm blessed to be an ordained ruling elder. So that has been my journey, and it's just been such a blessing to me and to
Wonderful.
my husband as well, but to our family.
Great. Dave, how
Yeah.
did you end up at First Presbyterian?
Sure. Well, I've been there. Been here about 10 years, a little over 10 years. Had served another church in the Tampa Bay area, actually a new church plant that was at about 13 years before that. And of course, before that had been in the Atlanta area. I'm actually a Columbia Seminary alum, but have made my way further and further south. But yeah, just found this opportunity here in Dunedin, and wonderful. It's a great community right here on the Gulf. Yeah, just a really strong sense of community here, and of course, a great congregation that has had a long and strong connection to the community. We're 155 years old as a congregation, and really through all that time, it's really one of the big attractions for me for coming here. Have stayed, really integrally connected with the community, and really understand the broader community as its parish, as it were. Whether folks show up on Sunday mornings or not, we still have a responsibility and a calling to all of our neighbors here.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Prior to us connecting, I had never heard of Dunedin, Florida. Can you tell us a little bit about the town, where it's located, what it's near, its distinctions? Dave?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind serving on the ex officio Chamber of Commerce cheering committee, because it is a great community. We're, like I said, we're right on the Gulf. We're in the Tampa Bay Metroplex, immediately north of Clearwater. So the church is 4 blocks from the water. Our beaches are Honeymoon Island and Caladesi Island, which are about a 5-minute drive away from downtown, across the causeway. And they're wonderful state parks. So they were established as state parks more than a generation ago. So you don't have heavy development on those beaches. They're pristine, they're natural, just absolutely gorgeous. Consistently, actually, I will say, rated as some of the top beaches in the country, including Hawaii, and if not across the globe. Dunedin itself is a community of about 36,000 people, and it's been consistently that way. Dunedin itself really kind of maxed out development really back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We're in Pinellas County, which is a large metropolitan county, about 1 million people in the county. So we're fairly stable in that way. We've got one of the things we're proud of is they did a railroad to trail bike and pedestrian path that goes straight through downtown. Goodness, probably about 30, 40 years ago. That is incredibly popular. So it's very pedestrian and bicycle friendly community, a really vibrant downtown with all sorts of bars, breweries, and restaurants, and lots of things going on. You come around here from really October through May, and there is something going on, sometimes multiple things going on every weekend. And then finally, really a strong sense of community. The city itself has done a great job, and other organizations and churches really do a great job of working together, coming together for the benefit of the broader community.
Thank you so much for giving us some context about the city of Dunedin. For those of you that might be joining, I'm here doing another pop-up conversation with Reverend Dr. Dave Scheller and Dr. Robin Rose, who are representatives from First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin. And many of you who follow my website and my social media platforms know that I've been posting about the position there. It's a position entitled it's a full-time position, Director of Music for Congregation and Community, which is very, very unique and distinct in its own regard. But before we talk a little bit more about the job, I want to learn just a little bit more about the church itself. And Dave, I'll let you continue sharing with this about this. Tell us a little bit about the church's history, and Robin is giving us some hints at that, and offer also your pastoral vision and the congregation's vision for music and worship and this position.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, the congregation itself is 155 years old. It was chartered in 1871, which by Florida standards, particularly Central Florida standards, is ancient. Because if you know anything about Florida's history, there wasn't much here before the Second World War. I mean, it was, woods and some citrus groves, and much has changed, of course, in that time. So 155 years old. And I like to talk about really how in that time, I really see that this congregation has really kind of had two life cycles. There was that first time, the initial time of sort of a small agricultural-based community. Early European settlers came in and established citrus groves. Citrus industry was a big thing here. Actually, orange juice concentrate was invented here in Dunedin. Little factoid. But then, of course, the Second World War came along, and all that happened to Florida after that. The widespread use of air conditioning made living in Florida possible in many ways. And so Dunedin really then at that point developed into just a part of, again, this larger Tampa Bay metroplex. And the congregation really responded as a part of that. Had gone from, again, a sort of a small town church, few key families, again, agricultural citrus industry, to really by the 70s and 80s, a really large programmatic church of 1,000 to 1,200 adults, multiple ordained clergy on staff, other full-time professionals and support staff. And really, like I said, it was really a large programmatic church. But that was 70 years ago, 70 plus years ago. And not unlike, most mainline Protestant legacy congregations, especially in this day and age, we've seen that, that gradual decline, particularly over the past 40 years. Nothing, big or alarming, but this, steady decline over that time. And so it's really obvious to me and to our leaders that this sort of second life cycle, this second way of being church, is probably in many ways coming to an end.
Right.
So we've spent a lot of time and energy over the past few years thinking about, okay, so what does the next life cycle look like? Who do we become? Who's God calling us to be in this next season? And that's not something I think we've got easy answers for. I'm not sure anybody's got easy answers for that at this point. But we are eager and anxious to explore and innovate and be creative about what that might look like and mean. I'm so blessed to have wonderful leadership like Robin and other elders and other leaders in our congregation that are interested in and eager to ask these questions and look for answers. I think one of the things that we're clear about as we do this, though, is that those answers involve our continued and strengthened connection to this community. So what does it mean for us? And we talk some about, parish ministry. What does it mean for us to see our broader community as really our parish and our calling? And, one of the things that I'm really interested in and try to talk a lot about is you think about the standard things that churches do. We build community with people. We do worship and faith formation, spiritual formation with folks. And we do engage people in service, back to their community and to the world and mission in that regard. And so one of the questions that I keep encouraging us to ask is, what does it mean for us to do those things and not wait for people to cross our threshold to do them? Mm-hmm. So what does it mean to engage our community, even if you don't show up on Sunday morning, in community building, in building connections? I mean, we know we have a world and a culture right now that's very fragmented, a lot of folks experiencing isolation and anxiety and depression because of that. What does it mean to engage people in our community in service to others? And lastly, and I think this is really the crux of this position, what does it mean to engage our community in worship and spiritual formation, even if they don't show up on Sunday mornings? Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily something, like I said, that we've got clarity about. And that's part of our search, is we want a partner to help us think creatively about what that is. So obviously we have our existing ministry that's great and strong and wonderful, and we want to continue that. But also, what does it mean for us to do worship and spiritual formation with those more broadly in our community? And what does it mean for us, even in what we currently do, to continue to strengthen what it means for us to build community as we form people spiritually and engage in worship and do that more inclusively, more broadly.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much for sharing that. Robin, I want to pivot to you now as a member of the search team, this amazing opportunity. As I stated a few seconds ago, this is not the typical run-of-the-mill kind of minister of music or pastor of worship job that you would normally see posted on a website or on social media. This is a particular kind of call. It is and I'm very impressed by the title of the job. Full-time director of music for congregation and community, which Dave has given us a wonderful pastoral background for. But I want to hear from you as a member of the search team. What are the distinctions that the search team is looking for, and the things that really matter now in this particular stage of the church's life?
Well, Pastor David framed it very well in regards to our two life cycles and understanding that we're moving into our third one. And just to set some context, we received a wonderful grant from your seminary as part of the Lilly Foundation money that we implemented to really kind of understand the needs of our congregants and the need of our community members. So we got some really good data that really impacts, our hiring staff moving forward. And that is, some of the three top findings we understood was the importance of moving behind our brick and mortar, moving into our community. Just like David just said, it's definitely someone who is not shy about taking our ministry, both in word and in music, into Dunedin and into any parts of our community. And I think that's a really important characteristic. Another thing that came out of our grant was the importance of a music director having different types of musical styles that would appeal to diverse cultural individuals. So whether that was, traditional Christian or contemporary Christian, whether that's Black African music, whether that's peace and justice type of music, whatever that is, we have really understood that we are looking for somebody that has multiple cultural diverse experience and appeal to help us move our message into our community. So I think that's really an important one. I think we're looking for someone as well that, as David just said, is innovative, is creative, is not afraid of helping us think through and think outside the box to develop that vision about who Jesus is calling us to be now. That piggybacks on all the good that we are now, but takes us into that place that our ministry can be a place of hope and healing for people. So I think it's someone who is good with change management, who's good, that helps us, that it might be a little bit messy as we continue to build on this grant data to help us move outside our borders, to be good in music that also, help heals brokenness. We understood from the grant the mental health issues that continue to exist in our community citizens and our congregants, particularly post-COVID. And how does that music help heal, along with the beautiful messages that David gives? So, definitely somebody who's experienced in handbells and choir and playing the piano and organ. But so much more than that, we are looking for someone to bring to the table based on all that we're looking for, which is pretty well defined in our RFP or job description that you created so beautifully for us after listening to us.
Well,
And Teddy,
Dave and I worked together on that.
Yeah, it was
it
beautiful.
is good stuff. Yeah.
It is really good stuff. And
Yeah.
and what I would say to anybody that's watching this video, please go back and look at that job description that's in there, because that is really the type of individual we're looking for, that has a blend of many of those traits and characteristics.
Yeah. And Tony, if you don't mind, I want to jump in too, just get one quick sort of concrete illustration of at least kind of what we have in mind when we're thinking about spiritual formation in the broader community. So what's it been 4 or 5 years ago that the Ukraine war started? And I had a member of the congregation, his former city commissioner, came to me and said, Dave, we got to do something, about this, some sort of response. And so I reached out to contacts that I've got in the community, actually discovered that there is a sizable, was already a sizable Ukrainian community in our area, and organized. We got a beautiful city park that's right smack dab in the middle of downtown. Yeah. And we organized a candlelight vigil and invited the community. Had a wonderful response to that from folks from all over and from the local Ukrainian community. And so, and I've got a wonderful friend who sadly is no longer with us. She died a few years after that, but a singer-songwriter. She came and performed, and we had Ukrainian groups come and perform. We sang the Star-Spangled Banner and sang the Ukrainian national anthem together, and really just had a beautiful moment. And I'm convinced that's worship.
Yes.
You know, Jesus might not have gotten much direct credit for it. That's okay. I don't think Jesus is all that concerned about getting credit.
Yes.
But that was worship, and that was spiritually formative for folks who engaged in that. So that's the sort of thing that I think we have in mind, and sort of different ways that could get expressed. Because if we're talking about Jesus, we're talking about his way of love, you know, especially including for our enemies, of justice for the vulnerable, and peace for all creation. So how do we help folks have the spiritual underpinnings to pursue that way in their life, however they might understand it? We understand it as a church as being grounded in Jesus, but how do we help our community in that journey?
Yeah, I love this vision, and I love how you all have a more expansive understanding of corporate worship, even beyond the benediction. Yeah,
Yes.
like actually, the benediction is an extension of corporate worship into the community. That worship continues with our engagement with those on the other side of the four walls. And so this position, and I'm reiterating in a very kind of high level way, is more than just getting songs ready for Sunday morning.
Yes.
It's more than just having choir rehearsal and practicing the big anthem for Sunday, but it is in community engagement and requires somebody who understands the importance of the Sunday morning gathering. We want that to be excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
That's
at
important.
the same time, that the work does not stop there.
Right. And if I could just add one more thing with David, you know, our mission statement is around Jesus' beloved community. And those words sound very lovely, but what on earth does that mean? And I think that, you know, we are looking for in partnership and collaboration with David, you know, how do we show in word and music and in deed what Jesus' beloved community is? And I think that's really important for us to have that music be our lived expression of who Jesus' beloved community is.
Thank you, Robin. You all, those of you that are joining, now I am here doing another pop-up with Dr. Dave Scheller and Dr. Robin Rose, who are representing First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin, Florida. They are looking or seeking to hire a full-time director of music for congregation and community. And so we're just bringing some more awareness around this position and giving folks a chance to meet some of the people who are connected to the job. I've posted it here on my social media and on my website. So we're just kind of digging in beyond the job description to learn more about this position and the church. So Dave, talk to me, and or Robin, it doesn't matter, what the current reality of the worship ministry is like at Dunedin right now. Do you have a choir? Do you have handbells? What do you have?
Sure. Right. So we have two worship services. At 8:45, there we have what we call a worship cafe service, which takes place in our fellowship hall. And as the name kind of suggests, there's, you know, coffee and refreshment and pastries and all that sort of thing. And this is probably what folks might describe as a more contemporary service, although we have purposely avoided any kind of style labels on our worship services. But so there is a band, a small band that plays of hand percussion, keyboard, electric bass, and a couple of singers, led by a paid band leader, part-time paid band leader, who does a great job. It's his super voice, great musician. And then our 10:30 sanctuary service, that, as the name suggests, takes place in our sanctuary. And it is this beautiful 1926 Mediterranean revival sanctuary. Again, and trust me, in Florida, again, a 1926 sanctuary is ancient by local standards. It's a beautiful space. I think we've done a great job of maintaining that space. There is it has a 15 rank Reuter pipe organ. That's, I think, about 40 years old, something like that, maybe 45 years old. And of course, there's a chancel choir there. There's also a bell choir that plays periodically, probably about 4 times a year, probably about quarterly, that the bell choir plays. So the position itself really would be looking for somebody that can sort of supervise over all of that, to be able to be the supervisor for the band leader in the worship cafe service, to also direct the choir. We have right now an interim organist, and so we traditionally have our director of music has also been the organist, but I think we're flexible on how that might evolve going forward. And then, of course, as I said, also the directing of the bell choir that participates accordingly.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let's talk a little bit now about the ideal candidate, the person that that you think would be successful in this position. And you've already given some. We've already talked about some of the kinds of expectations that come with this position. But Robin, from your standpoint, what would the ideal candidate bring to this position?
Well, I think I've already talked about some of this in regards to innovation, creativity, visionary thinking, along with David. I think we're looking at someone who understands the collaborative nature of the ministry, a music director in partnership and collaboration with our pastor, and how that forms our spiritual formation and message. I think, as far as the technical abilities, being able to play the organ or piano, experience with directing choirs. Also someone who is a team player, works well with the existing administrative staff. And yeah, that's what I can think of this moment. David, what about you?
Yeah, those are great qualities. I think the only thing I could think to add to is, because you already mentioned sort of somebody who's innovative, because there is going to be a lot of new things we want to be able to do with this position. Certainly be able to maintain and do, as you said, Tony, with excellence what we already are doing. And then lastly, sort of the third piece is somebody who is comfortable with and has skill in really sort of the breadth of quality Christian music these days, whether it's from Bach to Porter's Gate contemporary stuff. Somebody that's got that kind of breadth of experience and comfort will be important, and that includes, I think, spectrum across different cultural backgrounds, world Christian music, right. Music coming out of the African American experience, other experiences as well. We are, just to be upfront, we are a pretty Anglo congregation in a fairly Anglo community, but we also know that if we want to build community, we need to be serious right. about building community, right. Which is across our differences. So somebody who's going to be skilled in helping us in that journey, and certainly along with that, recognizing the spiritual formation component that happens in worship, and particularly around, as I said, around issues of love, peace, and justice, and being able to form people in those ways.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to impress upon those of you that are watching now, if you have not already seen this job description posted on my website or on any of my social media platforms, visit this website, the website job board here, drtonymcneil.com/jobs, and you will find a very detailed, very thorough, very clear job description about this full-time director for congregation and community at First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin. Go to the website to read the job description. And if you know of someone that would be a good fit for this position, or if you yourself might be a good candidate for the position, feel free to submit your materials. There was a preferred date that we had, I think, of July 15th, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
We're
Yeah.
still accepting applications, and
Absolutely.
even though the screening process has begun, and the interview process is starting to mobilize, we're still open to exploring options with other candidates. So it's not too late. So when you see that July 15th, don't see that as a hard deadline. That was a preferred deadline. Yeah. So in order to apply for the job, what do folks need to do? What do they
Well, I
need to
think
submit?
they need to submit stuff to you, Tony. So you're
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah.
wonderful job of collating those portfolios together and helping manage that process. And we're incredibly grateful
Oh, yes.
for your help in this process. The collaboration, like you said, that you and I have done to help take our vision and put it clearly on paper, and then to help guide us through this process, I think is great. So yeah, submitting all of the material to you, and then you're able to gather that and help guide the committee. Grateful,
Yes.
very grateful.
And the instructions to apply can be found on the very last page of the position description, and you'll see everything bulleted there. For those of you that may be interested in applying, let's talk just a little bit, and I know we're at time here, about benefits, that salary benefits, those kinds of things that are tend to be very important for folks who are seeking jobs, and especially relocating to the possibility of relocating to a new place. Can you all speak a little bit about what the church is offering?
Sure. I'm trying to remember exactly the salary range. I don't have the position description in front of me. This is a full-time position. Tony, do you remember the salary range that we've?
It's 75,000 to 85,000.
That's what I remembered, but I didn't want to misstate. Sort of be clear about expectations. So yeah, 75 to 85 is the range. Offering, of course, options for health insurance and obviously vacation leave and study leave and those items, and also offering some relocation allowance as well. We really are seeing this as a national search, and so we want to be open to making sure that we're able to take the right candidate that we know that God has out there for us. And I keep saying to the congregation, we just need one right candidate, and to help them come and relocate to our wonderful community, no matter where they may be living currently.
Good. Well, any closing statements or remarks before we close out, Robin or Dave?
I would say that as a member of the search committee, that a successful application really will address the job description that you see listed on the website, the multifaceted nature of this job and what we're looking for, and that a candidate would, based on their experience, of course, letting us know what that is, but also how they meet the requirements of what we're looking for in the diverse nature of the music that we're looking for, how they are examples of being a good team member, good leadership qualities, really a good partner with David Sheeler. And but that's what's really important, is to really look at that application, what we're looking for, and to tie your experience to what that is.
Good. Dave, any final words from you?
I think I want to build off of what Robin said a second ago about partner. Yeah, I'm looking for a colleague to have some fun with.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yes.
I've seen myself as someone who is collaborative, and I want to find somebody that can be a really good partner. We can be really good partners together as we do good, really high quality work with the congregation where we are, and can really help me and help our leaders and help the congregation continue to move forward in whatever God has planned for us. But yeah, I want to have somebody to have fun with in ministry.
Wonderful. Folks, this is a great opportunity. And I want, again, to thank you, David, and thank you, Robin, for joining me this morning for this talk, this pop-up conversation, so that we can clarify and just kind of amplify what it is that the church is looking for. And I want to invite those of you who are watching live now and those that will watch the playback of this. If this position sounds like someone in your network, please tag them in this video or send the link to this video to them and encourage them to apply. Again, it's a wonderful opportunity for someone who has an incredible streak of creativity and imagination to come and do worship ministry with a congregation who is waiting and is ready to move into the next phase of its ministry and to connect with the community around it. And so we are excited about the potential that this position has, and hope that you are, and that you will share it with folks in your network. Thank you, folks, for joining me for this pop-up conversation. I'm looking forward to us continuing this work, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
Thank you, Tony. You too. And again, thank you so much for all of your help.
You're such a blessing to us, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm enjoying the work.
And I'm sorry I'm not in Atlanta in August 22nd.
Me too.
I'd be there.
Yeah.
Celebrating with you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.